certain body parts, and that's what I'll be asking them for today. If you guys can give me just a few minutes to give my focus on this guy right here, I will be able to answer some questions afterwards and talk to you guys at greater length here in just a few minutes.
They're 85.
Oh.
Imagine a zookeeper going to the grocery store.
You see what he did just now?
Huh.
Yeah, he can bite. He can actually bite. Why is he holding the fence?
You're my head. They're making sure he doesn't have a limp.
Where does he pinch his skin? Why? I'm not sure. I know that with most mammals, if you pinch their skin, it takes more than like a few seconds for their skin to come back down. It means they're dehydrated. I don't know.
With us, it's true. Crew's gonna be smelling those bars for days.
Not every day.
Boy, that guy's a messy eater, huh?
When do they train them? How? I don't know.
It's like meat, huh?
Okay, so again, what we call those are cooperative husbandry behaviors, so asking him to present paws is a great way for us to look at their pads to make sure there's no big cracks in them. During the winter, some cats, they do have very slick paws. On the bottom, they don't have a lot of texture to them, and when it gets very cold, very snowy, very dry, they can develop cracks in their paws, so we want to make sure that we keep an eye on them, make sure they're okay. They also do kind of stick their claws through, so we make sure that there's nothing really wrong with those, like something sticking out of it. We haven't had any major issues, but this is how we keep an eye on it. I'm asking him to open his mouth, and Motegi is actually missing both upper canines. They did have to be root canal because he does like to pull on the mesh. And this was basically how we found out where the status of those teeth actually was. We can develop a better plan of what we want to do based on what the animal actually looks like. We asked him to stand all the way up because most of our cats, you know, our bears included, even our moose, they don't like to roll over and expose their stomachs for any reason whatsoever. So asking him to stand up does the exact same purpose. Any kind of injury down there, that's how he would see it. And asking him to lay down, we look at his entire back because they don't usually like to walk away. The one where I was asking him to walk down the mesh and turn around and come back, and then hold that position where I was pinching him on his side, that's actually a mock injection. So if they have vaccinations that are due, this is how we can give them their injections. Today, that was probably the longest I've ever seen him voluntarily hold that position. Even after I ended the behavior, he still sat there. It doesn't really, that's how positive this actually is because I've given him his vaccinations before, and it's a positive event. You know, we make as many deposits into the training bank, so to speak, that we possibly can before we have to make a withdrawal, which would be an actual injection. You know, it is not always, it doesn't always feel good to get your flu shots and things like that. These guys have to get rabies, distemper, pretty much every 3 years for their cat vaccinations. But making it positive, you know, they're going to continually come back. So even though I've given them vaccinations before, he still comes back up to do the training. It's a very positive event. It doesn't really, you know, the workout to it is always the worst part. So asking an animal to understand that we're trying to give them an injection is much like, imagine, you know, teaching a kid that a shot really isn't that bad. You know, it's the workup seems to be the worst part about the entire thing when compared to the actual event itself. So it just makes it a lot more positive. We don't want to use things like dart guns or pull syringes because that can be an extreme negative. It doesn't necessarily hurt worse, but when you shoot an animal with a dart gun, when they know what it is and they remember it, whoever was present for it, they will remember.